Workers will need to reskill. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's look at this article from Yahoo Finance, which is discussing some facts from the PM that workers will need to retrain or reskill. Australian workers will need to regularly reskill to keep up with the speed of change in the digital economy, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Wednesday. Now, he's right. He's right. We need to constantly train. The economy is moving forward. Your university education becomes obsolete very quick, depending on what field you go in, quicker than others. Now, before we go through this article, I think we'll take a suggestion. Because I know retraining can be frustrating and there can be cost associated with it. And there's lots of charlatans trying to sell you a retraining course online, or even these registered training organizations just to get government money when you pay for a course. And it gets harder the older you get. One thing that I have been using for years for training and education has been lynda.com.au. Now I think it's called LinkedIn Learning. I think LinkedIn bought it, then Microsoft bought LinkedIn, or one way or the other. But for lynda.com, you've got tons and tons, innumerable amount of courses on a wide variety of topics, from motivation, starting a business. I mean, this is almost an advert for them, to programming. You can see here, let's have a look. I mean, these are the courses I've been doing it for a while, but the last one I was doing was Unity 5, a 2D movement in an RPG game. One of my goals was to try and make a game before I hit 40, and I've got another channel where I was documenting that, and I've just completely fallen off the wayside for that one here. But I've got other ones with, algorithmic trading I was looking at, Excel for corporate finance professionals, and these are the certificates I've earned. Sketchbook Pro, Basics of Branding, Microsoft Access. I did a whole lot. We'll have a look here. I did a whole lot of Access training on Lynda as I was developing my office back of house. I developed my own management system for my entire practice, where all the staff could even type in all the minutes from all the meeting. It would all be recorded. We could generate reports. Fantastic. And I'm still using it now. It's actually, because I've implemented that, I need less people to do the work. I can make a fee proposal really efficiently and quite easily. I want to now, merge it over with my accounting system to build it myself. So the cost of having, an Access subscription is a lot cheaper than buying all these other things. Project management here, Publisher 2013, Revit 2013. What we used to do is every one of our staff, we would require that they did a Lynda course. Or even people, we got to the point where we were thinking of hiring, do the Lynda course on Revit. There you go, 2011. It's now 2020 version, so I haven't done it for a while. Probably should again. But it's a very thorough, it's a 8-hour course, 8.5-hour course, where you can learn all these skills. Now, if you live in Brisbane, you can have access to Lynda for free, everyone. You can have access to it for free from the State Library of Brisbane. They've paid for it for all the people who are living here. I'd encourage you to get it. Even if all you want to do is to get these certificates, to start adding them onto your LinkedIn profile, or just to show, because they're very useful. They're easy to do, they're self-directed learning, and they're quite cheap. I don't know how much Lynda costs anymore. When we had our business, we used to pay for it like $100 a month or something. I can't even tell you. But there are a lot of libraries around Australia that provide you with free access to this. Check it out, everyone. Have a look. Actually, it's the State Library in Queensland, so you should be able to, I think, get it in the entire state for Queensland. So check it out. That's one I would recommend. So if you need to reskill, this is an option. This is an option where you don't need to spend a lot. You can do it on your own time. You can do it from home. More and more learning is now available online. You can, another one we'll look at, and this isn't really retraining, but this is more education. Khan Academy, free online courses, lessons and practice. You can do it for students and everything, and a whole range of different things. I mean, look at all the courses that they have here. I just do some of the history ones just out of interest. You can get ready for different grades. It's a great complement to other education. The advantage of Linda is it gives you a piece of paper. That's the advantage of completion certificate. That's the power of a lot of these institutions, that you get a piece of paper certificate. Now, you may think, oh, but I need a uni degree, I need this. If you show capability, if you can put a portfolio together to demonstrate your work, and you can show all the hours that you spent self-training, a lot of bosses may consider that even more value, at least that you're showing initiative. Or maybe this is what you do to start to break into a new field, and then you go and do some more formal education at a later date. These are all things to consider. But check it out, guys. Hashtag not sponsored. It's just something I've been using for years, and when I discovered I could get access to it for free, I was very pleased. Well, not really for free. It comes out of all the money we're paying for the government, so you might as well use it because they're paying a lot for it anyway. So let's have a look. Laying out his plan to make Australia one of the world's strongest digital economies over the coming decade, Morrison said workers will have to have an important role to play in the transition. I mean, that's going to be tough. Younger people will be able to adapt. They'll be able to be nimble on their feet. I met someone yesterday who couldn't even use a computer. There's still people around like that. He said the federal budget invests in Australian workers' skills so that businesses can access the skills they need to succeed, and so that Australians can remain in work well into the future. Now, the problem with putting our eggs in the digital economy basket is that we're not just competing at a local level. You're competing at a international level. I used Fiverr to get people to work on particular things like logos or art or stuff like that. Very cheap, quite competitive. Actually, no, I used 99 Designs. I used Fiverr for a few other little things. I tried it for drafting. It just was not worth it. Easier for me to do it myself, faster and more accurate. But still, that's just, my experiences. Other people have entire offices offshore of draftspeople doing all of that work for them. The digital economy is central to these tasks to create jobs that Australians need. The speed of change in the digital economy means that our training system needs to be fast and responsive, he told the Australia's e-commerce summit, or the Australians e-commerce summit. Well, he's right there. But our education system is just very far behind. You go to these universities, you spend years learning outdated information. By the time you graduate, it's already obsolete. You really just go through the process to get the piece of paper. MIT have all of their courses online. The problem is you're not in a structured environment, so it's a bit harder. It needs to be more self-directed. But it's also a good way to test if you'd be interested in learning something. Do a 20-hour, see how long it takes you to do, a 20-hour course on Unreal or Dynamo or Rivet or programming. And then you'll know. Then you'll know real quick. So, research from Alpha Beta reveals Australians will need to spend an extra 3 hours per week on education and training by 2040. How long do you spend on education or training? 3 hours per week isn't that much. Well, if you're working full-time, you're keeping a house and you've got a family, that does add up, finding that 3 extra hours. And maybe you just want to relax, do some gardening, go out with the mates, have a beer, play some computer games. Saw an increase of 33% over their lifetime. Much of this education will come later in life as workers need to reskill and upskill. And it gets harder jumping through the hoops, particularly with all the PC rubbish in some of these training organizations. Citing this research, Morrison said learning never stops. That's why we're undertaking ambitious skills reforms to ensure our vocational education and training system is responsive, forward-looking, dynamic, and trusted. The government in September announced $800 million would be invested in helping businesses take advantage of digital technologies, and in March announced it would carry out skills organization pilots aimed at connecting industry needs with training providers. The 3 skill pilots established in March were in digital technology, human services, and the mining sector. A national skills commission will also analyze the labor market and identify the future skills shortages. Oh boy, that just sounds utterly terrifying. Oh, that can't possibly go wrong at all. A national skills commission. How do you get a job on one of these boards? We have two stories happening simultaneously here in Australia. An economy that is experiencing the worst set of economic circumstances since the Great Depression. Devastating and ferocious adaptation that businesses have engaged in to keep these circumstances at bay and their effects. So Australians are already upskilling. The upskilling revolution is already underway, with Westpac and Learnerang research finding that Australians are already learning new skills just for fun. The research found a third of upskillers learned a new skill as an investment in their career, while a similar amount did so to pursue a new career, and 45% study for their own personal satisfaction. I mean, that's why I do a lot of the Lynda courses, you know. But then again, learning access and database management skills, which as architects we never get any exposure to, really. Our IT training at university was just atrocious. Just atrocious, a technology training. That's why I started up a event peer-to-peer where we would get senior students would come after hours and train junior students in how to use these skills for $10, as opposed to paying a fortune, you know, thousands in hex, and then the university just sends you to bloody Lynda course. This is why when people complain about, oh, why aren't the universities teaching us Rivet or this or this, I'd explain how much the hex is, and it's cheaper for you to do it yourself. You don't want them to pay you because, you know, they're probably not working, they don't know what they're doing. Seek insights provided to Yahoo Finance also revealed that 2 in 3 job seekers are interested in reskilling, upskilling, or retraining in the coming 6 months. Additionally, half of Seek's survey respondents are very interested in or already committed to completing short government-subsidized courses in areas targeted as in demand. The same study found 45% would prefer to do a short course, while 16% would complete a university degree. I would rather do a short course. Short course is just, you know, a subject in a university, and that can teach you all the skills. Particularly if you've gone through university and you think back of everything you've learned, how much of it was jumping through the hoops. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys. What online training providers do you use? Let us know in the comments. Do you have any good free ones that you could share with people? And of course, there's just good old-fashioned YouTube. Thanks, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.